You absolute gutless chicken. Yeah, Shirakura went. Yeah, apparently in a recent. Yeah, before I get to talking about the episodes for this week. Oh yeah, first off, sorry if I was late. Yeah, some stuff came up. The subs I used, well, they were running a little late, so whatever. But yeah, just anyways. Yeah, apparently there was an article this week that yeah, Shirakura is he's chickening out on this whole thing. He's going with the whole it's a fractured timeline, it doesn't affect the main writer continuity thing. So, yeah, basically ZO is just completely pointless. Yeah, he knows that the people that Japan really does not like when Toei specifically, stuff that he uses, his productions go and screw around with this trope if they're not actually going to do anything with it. Yeah, he's trying out the excuse that this is an alternate timeline. Does this actually affect the main continuity? So you know what? Just go MS-T3K rules. Yeah, no, dude. You set this up as basically taking place in the main continuity, even though yeah you completely screw things up with how how Build's episodes were handled, and yeah mixing it Build's reality with with the Skywall with the main Earth. It's just resulted in a bit of a mess. And yeah, this is basically just Shirakura just trying desperately to cover his ass. Even though, yeah, there was this poll like a couple of years back, yeah, where apparently there was a poll going around where Japanese audiences were asked about five reoccurring tropes in their media that they just can't stand. Yeah, aside from topping isekai anime and harem anime, I think I'll go and search for the article in particular and point a link to it down below. Well, yeah, the top one, time travel stories that don't actually affect anything. Yeah, mostly Inuyasha, Endless Eight, and of course anything involving time travel that comes from Toei. Kamen Rider Den-O. Even though personally I like Den-O, it was my very first Kamen Rider series that I actually completed, and what actually got me started. Thanks, Easy. So yeah, I'm not exactly. Oh well, I probably should go back and rewatch Den-O, having been a little wiser, a little seen a lot more shows. Yeah, maybe it'll hold up, maybe it won't. Yeah, but whatever. But yeah, Japan's made it pretty damn clear that they absolutely hate sloppy time travel stories. The only good ones that I can name off the top of my head are, well, okay, I haven't seen Time Ranger, but I heard that's it's pretty damn hard to screw that up. Anyways, the only good time travel stories that I heard from Japan that I can pretty much count on one hand. Let's see, the Kamen Rider Young Go Net movies, Steins Gate, and my absolute favorite anime of all time, Madoka Magica. Those are like the only times that I've heard from people where, Japan's done a time travel story that doesn't make you just want to go and smash your head against the wall. And no, I'm not counting Dragon Ball Z because, like DBZ Abridged basically stated, it's not really time travel. The way they handled it over there, it's basically multiverse theory. Yeah, you go back, they explain it better in Back to the Future. First, let's see. Let's pretend that time is a linear line. We start off here and go back to point A, which, yeah, thanks to Marty's interference and getting Biff's ass kicked and his dad to, get some stones, created an alternate timeline. And then, Back to the Future happened where Future Biff went even further back in time, gave his younger self the sports almanac and created the, a Mad Max Fist of the North Star universe for him. Yeah, basically the one where Hill Valley was a shithole. Yeah, basically that's, but yeah, Marty and Doc were able to get back to their original timelines. Well, okay, improved original timeline, timeline B, because they went back and stopped the young Biff from taking advantage of the almanac. Events have flow and consequence basically. But yeah, the way they handled it in Dragon Ball Z, Trunks went back in time, killed Frieza, gave Goku the medicine, and so he was around to stop the androids. But Trunks' future still existed. So yeah, again, this isn't really time travel. Again, well, yeah, like a bridge Bulma says, it's multiverse theory. Shit. Okay, hey, yeah, I started off with this little tangent because this week's episodes, there's not really a whole lot to them. All right, starting off with the Zo here, getting back on topic here. Yeah, they go and wrap up the whole affair with another wizard. Yeah, yeah. Like I said last episode, there was like in the last episode, there was somebody stalking Gates while he was tracking another wizard, and it turns out to be Kosuke Nito, aka Kamen Rider Beast. And he is in possession of both the wizard and the beast ride watches, since, well, yeah, he was the one who got them from, Gates in the past. But, this kind of begs the question here. I mean, we know that the Another Riders, the ride watches are created from, the defeat of the Another Riders. So, yeah, another wizard gets his power stolen from the real wizard. We know that. So, yeah, going back to when I was talking earlier during the build arc, we know that Cross Z has a ride watch, and yeah, we know that Sento got that as the early bird cameo at the end of build. Yeah, that Sento got that. So, does this mean that there's another rider versions of the secondary riders? Like another Cross Z, another Beast, another who else is well, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if there's ride watches for the secondary riders, there should be secondary another riders running around. So, where are they? Uh, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, I remember the oldest rule with this show: if you ask too many questions, you'll get kicked in the head by a horse. Uh huh. That's their statement. And no, sir, I don't like it. All right. Anyways, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Sento actually is. No. Yeah. Shogo. Sorry. My mind goes back to better writers. Sogo is actually starting to get a little bit smart and realizes that Waz, is basically the servant, the prophet of the future Omazio. And since Sogo's the younger version, guess what, Waz? You got to answer all my questions, and you can't do a thing about it. Nah, 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 nah. So yeah, he finally learns to take advantage of Waz and basically has him play the exposition buddy here, basically explaining what's the deal with the riders suddenly recovering their memories when they defeat the Another Riders. Back what happened with Emu and Sento back during their whole fiascos. Basically, what happens is, when the Timejackers create another rider, they overlap the history of the rider whose powers they're stealing from. Yeah, like has been showcased before. And yeah, the reason why the memories slowly actually return, is because once the another writer is destroyed, their memories are temporarily restored until the Timejacker freezes time without anybody noticing and resets the ride watch and recreates the another rider. Basically, just brief little gaps in time. Kind of like a needle skipping a beat on a record player. Just within those very brief moments until the another rider is brought back up, that's when the real riders whose powers were stolen get their memories back. But again, this brings up another question: why are Kosuke's memories affected when it's Haruto's powers that were stolen to create another wizard? Guys, hello. Beast's powers actually don't have that much in common with Wizard's powers. Beast's ability to become a rider was because he got a belt that had a phantom already stored inside there. That's not Chimera is not Kosuke's real phantom. But it's all under the same. No, no. There are similarities in power bases, but there don't unless it's directly stated to come from the same source. It's not. You're an idiot. You're a bad writer. But hey, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's all just a fractured timeline. Yeah. Thanks a lot, pal. Thanks a heap. You really think? Yeah. No, Shirokura, we're not going to let you get off of this crap. Anyways, Yeah, because Sogo managed to defeat another wizard, and that freed up Kosuke's memories just enough to, well, one, get into a quick little sparring match with Gates to test him to see if he can handle the Ride Watches. And also, Kosuke goes and gives Gates the Wizard Ride Watch, but for some reason keeps the Beast Ride Watch for himself. Shouldn't the fact that Kosuke being able to transform into Beast mean that the Ride Watch should be destroyed? Or is it that he can still access his powers as Beast if he has the Ride Watch in close proximity? And oh my god, this is making my head hurt. Oh. Well, yeah, you know what? Just all right, yeah. Well, yeah. Sogo realizes that yeah, he's got Waz to play the exposition buddy. He can do whatever he wants with him, and he tells Waz to basically go and stuff it once once Gates goes back in time to go and defeat another wizard when he was created. Yeah, basically, when Waz suggests to Sogo to go back to 2012 to claim the power of Wizard, Sogo tells him to stuff it. Mostly because, yeah, just getting rid of the another rider isn't really going to solve the problem unless, the guy himself, Hayate, musters up the cojones to actually go and confess his feelings towards his boss. And even though he knows he'll get rejected, he knows, Sogo basically helped him realize that because he's kept his feelings bottled up and festered inside him, his desire to see, his love for her turned and twisted into jealousy, and becoming this spiteful, psychotic worm of a monster. So yeah, after another wizard is taken care of at both 2018 and 2012, they use their Fi's double phones or whatever they're called to basically just go and shatter reality. Yeah, basically, yeah. Hayate goes and has a conversation with with his 2012 self. Is like, dude, just go and confess to her already. You know you're gonna get rejected, but you'll feel a lot better once you get it out of your system. They're going to move on. We should be happy for that. And he's like, yeah, you know what? That's the right thing to do. So yeah, back in 2012, Hayate confesses his feelings towards the manager. The stage gets shut down. Everybody goes on with their lives happily ever after. And then we get the preview for next episode. Oh, I don't know whether I should hate this or love it, but I'm just gonna keep my lid shut on it, and well, yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut, even if it is just a cheap tactic to go and draw in fans. It's still gonna be beautiful to see him back and just hamming it up. Ooh. In fact, I might even need to. I'll think about it. Anyways, yeah. Moving on. So yeah. Aside from the tease of the next episode and Gates getting himself another ride watch to go and keep up with Sogo, it's not really all that much of a consequential episode. I mean, it's basically just the show explained for the characters what we, the audience, already know, which again is just kind of bad storytelling. I mean, it's always kind of an annoying thing. Yeah, it's like when you know who the killer is in a horror movie. It's like, no, don't go with them, no. It's just annoying and just, ugh. I mean, again, this show isn't really bad per se. I mean, but it's a Shirakura production. Give it time. Give it time. It's gonna hit rock bottom sooner or later. I mean, right now it's coasting along just fine, being okay. But as the capstone to the Heisei era, it's really shouldn't just be passable. It's all right. Yeah, don't worry, Zio. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. And speaking of, well, okay, not speaking of disappointing, we're at Lupinranger versus Patranger, episode 37. And okay, the episode itself isn't really all that disappointing, but surprisingly, Keichiro is actually feeling disappointed. Mostly disappointed with himself. Yeah, we actually get to see Keichiro actually being somewhat sympathetic. I know, it took him that long. I mean, Congrats, guys. Okay, anyways, the Gangler this time is a snail skeleton, is a snail thing with a skeleton popping out of its head named Yabando Go Home, I think. Yagando Go Home. Anyways, yeah, Go Home. Who, by his weird main power is the ability to fire a beam that sends people back home. Just has them flying off into the sky Team Rocket style and just crashing back at their apartments. And that combined with his Lupin collection piece, which is basically sticky fingers, just allowing him to create portals out of nowhere and just basically send anything through there to the other end. Basically he can open up wormholes in time and space, or not really time and space. It's just just space. He's basically got a portal gun. Basically, yeah, it's a portal gun. So yeah, that combined with his go home ability makes this guy pretty annoying to deal with. I mean, the powers themselves really aren't all that strong, but every time they get close to him, he could just send them back home. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And it affects everyone except for Kairi. And the reason why in this episode, is because, well, the beam sends them back to where they consider home is. And Kairi doesn't have that. Not even, doesn't even go back to Bistro Jura like with Tuma and Umika. Kairi, he doesn't feel like he belongs anywhere. He has no home. Basically because his brother, his family, was the only place that he could, with his brother, it was the only place where he truly felt at home. It was his only family he has, and now that his brother's gone, Kairi is just alone. Even with his teammates, even with his, even with the bistro, he's just dead inside, basically. Just trying to cover everything up with a confident smile. I mean, he does care about his teammates, but actually even that's kind of called into question since, if he really did care about them, home is where the heart is and all that crap, he would have been sent back probably where they were. But Kairi just, he isn't affected by the beam and tries to finish off Go Home until, Go Home uses, the go home beam on himself to force a quick retreat. Again, using that portal gun sticky finger thing. So the plan they come up to beat him, well, Umika and Tuma they basically have the right idea. Basically just close down the bistro for a little bit and, basically go camping, since that's basically their home. Keichiro does have the same idea, but once again, he just goes completely over the moon and actually moves out of his apartment just to go and set up in his tent. I mean, granted, he was living in like a global police funded apartment building, so he could probably just move back in there. Sure, it was a little bit short notice, but hey, it's official business. It's the only way to deal with this ganglar, so it's all right. But the interesting thing about this episode is when he actually goes to the bistro to try and talk to Kairi, and Kairi, it's actually Keichiro who actually comes off. He's trying to talk to Kairi civilly. He still doesn't know that he's Lupin Red yet. But he just sees that they're, Umika and Tuma give the a cover story of the three of them getting into a fight, and Keichiro comes along to try and basically talk to Kairi and see if they could just patch things up. But Kairi is actually being the one who's aggressive in this situation and basically just trying to just shut Keichiro up. And basically because, as was seen in previous episodes, Keichiro actually reminds Kairi a lot of his brother, and it's bringing out a lot of just bad memories. Those regrets that he had, and his last moments before he was killed by Zamigo. It's haunting him, and the more he sees Keichiro, the more he sees his brother, and just the regret, and just it's tearing him apart, and it's driving him even further, apart. It's just causing him to lash out at Keichiro when honestly the guy's really just trying to help, and it doesn't. Kairi knows that he's the one who's constantly getting his way, but Keichiro doesn't know that. He just sees a guy that's, just basically he just sees a guy crying, who's just trying to get help. And yeah, just I mean, Keichiro has not been the most sympathetic character, especially when it comes to dealing with the Lupinrangers, but they've been at least sociable in civilian forms. But yeah, even Kyrie was mostly still distant even when he was trailing him back with the vacation episode where they got the splash trigger machine. Yeah, Keichiro is Keichiro's at the end of the episode. They managed to, of course, managed to get past the gang lord, get his collection piece, and they actually combined into their combined form thing. Lupat, Good Feeling Kaiser. A Good Feeling Kaiser. Yeah, that's whatever. Yeah, they actually for the third time in the series, and actually not that far apart since the last time they did it against the Chimera. So maybe it's starting to look like the teams are kind of slowly but surely kind of coming together, kind of. But again, it's a little too late. And yeah, Kyrie is mostly just we could just tell by his stature, his body language that he does want some help. He does want to connect with these people, but his memories of his brother are still just holding him back, even after the whole thing with getting the Lupin Magnum. There's still some part of him that still holds those regrets. He was able to power through and have the resolve to go and overcome the trial of the Magnum, but that might actually be a bit negative, since if he's willing to go that far, what exactly is sacred? What exactly does he treasure? He doesn't seem to put that much value in the Lupin and the relation and the friendship and the camaraderie forms with Umika and Tuma. He's not affected by the go home beam, so yeah, he doesn't really consider anyone. He only seems to be focused on getting his brother back. Everything else is just a tool for him. Again, I'm not really sure if that's what they're going with, but I can't help but think it's when you read into it a little bit, it's kind of painting a bit of a darker side for him. And yeah, maybe that's what they're hinting to. Kyrie might actually start to go over the edge a bit, and Keichiro, maybe once he realizes who he is and that he's the head of the Lupinrangers, might actually try to pull Kyrie back from the brink. Again, I'm not sure, but overall, just kind of aside from the subtle bits of development that we see with Keichiro and Kyrie and their relationship, not really all that much of a noteworthy episode. Just get another collection piece, boom, done. So yeah, this took a little bit longer than I was expecting. Hopefully next time I'll be able to get the subs up faster, the vlog up faster back on Saturdays as usual. So till then, see you when I see ya.